Hi, Ron Benning, real estate investment expert. Lately, the most common thing I hear from my clients is that there isn't any good deals out there anymore. Well, today I want to share with you one of those rare good deals that just came along. This portfolio that I just listed with my partner Sean Mylan has a 10.95 current GRM and still has lots more room for improvement too. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the details of this portfolio. But first, I'll give you a brief overview of the location, how the property is laid out, what the unit mix is, and the rent rolls, and what the realistic opportunity for further improvement are over the next year or two. Then in the second half of the video, I'm going to walk you around the exterior of the buildings so you can see how they all lay out on the parcels. And then we're going to tour the inside of about half the units. All of the information that I make reference to on the screen will be available in the attachments down in the description. Let's get started. So for the purposes of this video, this portfolio primary address that I'm going to be using is 980 Indiana Street in Woodbridge, California. The portfolio consists of 4 parcels with 8 units and a 1,900 square foot workman shop. It's listed at $1.9 million and we have a current income of $173,400. Woodbridge is located in the northwest side of the city of Lodi along the banks of the Sacramento River. The population is just under 4,000. There are many popular eateries and bars and other things to do in the area. It has a great small town feeling, but is still an easy commute to Lodi, Galt, Stockton, or even Sacramento. The portfolio consists of 4 parcels. Looking at the picture on the screen, I'll go over the placement of the buildings and the unit mix. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is the image that shows all 4 parcels. And on each of those parcels, you can see what the property addresses are that we will be going over in just a second. If we look at the right-hand side of the image on the screen, we will see that parcel number 1 is almost 1/4 acre, and that is comprised of 2 buildings. One is 926 Indiana Street, which is a single-family house that is a studio, and the second is 930 Indiana Street, which is also a single-family house. That's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. That has a carport. Parcel number 2, that's almost 1/3 acre. That is comprised of 950 Indiana Street, which is a single-family house, which is 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and is about 970 square feet. Also, it has the tradesman workshop in the back. That's approximately 1,900 square feet. It has a large fenced storage yard as well. This is perfect for somebody who owns a business in the trades, or it can be rented out separately. The owner is willing to do a short-term rent back on that space if you as a buyer are interested in that. The third parcel has a triplex on it, and that triplex was built in 1993. And that consists of 3 2-bedroom, 1-bath units, all with 2-car garages and about 914 square feet each. And the last parcel has a duplex on it. This is located on the corner of Indiana and Orange, and both of those units are 2-bedroom, 1-bath, about 1,141 square feet each. Both have a 2-car garage. The next thing I want to talk about is the average rents in the area. The average 2-bedroom in the area rents for about $2,178, and the average 3-bedroom rents for $2,385. With this in mind, let's take a look at the current rent roll and see what the rents are now and how they can be improved over the next year or two. 966 Indiana Street is a studio. It's about 500 square foot and it is currently rented for $1,000. I'm just going to make an assumption that that's fair market rent for now. 930 Indiana Street is a 3-in-1. It's currently rented for $1,900 and $2,385 is the market rent. And as we go down the list, and you can see the list on the screen, we can see that there is a pretty good opportunity for most of these units to be increased in rents over the next 1 to 2 years, keeping in mind the limitations of how much you're allowed to raise the rent is 5% plus the CPI index each year. So in the next year or two, that's likely to be somewhere between 8 and 9%. If we look at the shop, which is the fourth one down, you'll see that that's about 1,900 square feet. I have plugged in $1,000, and that's assuming that the current owner would rent it back for a period of time, and that's negotiable. This was previously rented for $2,500. If we look at the current rents right now, they total $173,400 per year, assuming that the shop is rented back at $1,000 a month in the short term. That translates to a 10.95 GRM. Now, if we make the improvements over time, bringing the rents to fair market value, and assuming the shop was rented for $2,500, once the property was fully optimized, we would be looking at income of about $227,436 with a GRM of 8.35. So you can see that the building has pretty darn good numbers right now and still a realistic opportunity for improvement over the next year or two. Let's go ahead and take a walk around of the property, and you can get a little bit better idea of how all these buildings are placed on the property. And during that walkthrough, we'll take a look inside of about half the unit. So the property sits on the corner of Orange and Indiana. So it starts with 980. This is a duplex that wraps around the corner onto Orange. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then as we move to the right, we have 966. This is a triplex. You have the front unit with the 2-car garage, and then you can go down that driveway. We'll go down that in just a minute. From there on, we have the next property over is 950. That's a freestanding house. There's that driveway that we're going to go down in just a minute. Then we have 930, which is another freestanding house. And if you look down below the video, you'll be able to see that we have a unit mix for how many bedrooms and baths and rents on all of these units. And lastly, on this side, we have the studio. This is a quiet neighborhood. $970. So here's the shop with parking and storage back here. $974. We're in the back of the shop here. You've got some office space in the front, and then you have the open doors in the back, you'll see. So this section is being used as an office right now. More basic storage. Little bathroom back here. And then you go back into the formal shop area. And then you have a door that opens here so that you can get bigger items in and out. And then you've got a gate that opens here and a large storage space for stuff out here. So plenty of storage space in the yard here. So The total shop is about 1,900 square feet. Then there's a gate that opens up back here so that if you want to access the water. This is 980 Indiana, and this is the part of a duplex that wraps around the corner. This duplex is on the corner of Indiana and Orange. As we come around the side, we've got the second unit in the duplex, which is 18761 Orange. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath with a 2-car garage. These nice wrap around the corner duplexes look almost like a big house from the front. Okay, let's head inside 18761 Orange. Hey, there's a dog run over here. Nice patio. Cover patio that goes to the garage. Get a nice view of the roof line here. If this is your first time to my channel and you don't want to miss out on any new walkthrough tours or new content, please subscribe now. One last important thing I wanted to bring up is the financing. So I always get asked, will the seller carry back? And in this case, the goal is not to carry back. We're going to need to get some new financing on there. And because this is a portfolio loan, which means that all 4 parcels are encumbered by one loan, we need to sell them as a package deal. So we can't break them up. We can finance this in one of 3 ways. We can get a traditional commercial loan that has all 4 parcels in it. We could get a hard money loan, or we can get 4 conforming residential 1 through 4 loans that would all close concurrently. If you need more help in deciding what makes the most sense for financing, feel free to reach out to me. It takes a lot of time to go over all the details of a portfolio sale like this, and I appreciate you hanging in there with me. If you want more information on this property or would like to talk to me about it, I'd love to hear from you. I can be reached by phone, text, or if you'd like to schedule an appointment in person or Zoom, simply reach out to me.